Welcome back to the 2-Minute Warning. Today we're taking a look, as you can see, at the 2-0 Carolina Panthers, and we're going to go over whether or not this team is going to make a playoff run in 2021. But before we get into it, I got to hear from you guys. Simple yes or no. Are they making the playoffs? Yes or no. Doesn't have to win the division, but will they be a wild card team? Comment down below, and we'll see how our predictions and overall matchups work out at the end. Looking at it though, kudos to Sam Darnold. Is he absolutely perfect? No, but is he showing that with the right team, with the right weapons, with the right circumstances, he can be a guy that has potential 100%. Him going 2-0 is like any other quarterback winning the Super Bowl. It's a really cool landmark for the Panthers, and this was a team that I'm not a Panthers. I'm a Bucs fan, and I'm still rooting for Sam Darnold and the Panthers. You know, I'm a Bucs fan, but I'm still going to be unbiased on what I think about them and how good I think they can be. And Sam's one of my favorite players, at least as far as rooting for, and I like McCaffrey as well. I'm a big fan of the rookie Terrace Marshall Jr., so I do like aspects to this Panthers team to where I'm not going to be biased about saying they suck because I love the Bucs. But looking at Darnold, at his stats, 584 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. That's pretty efficient for Sam Darnold. 3 touchdowns and 1 interception. 3-to-1 ratio. That's pretty good for him. McCaffrey, it's McCaffrey. I mean, he's going to have yards. He's going to have numbers. He's going to have stats that are pretty and looking pretty good. Looking at the defense, though, that's kind of what I want to be talking about on this team. That's, in a way, underrated. Shaq Thompson's balling out. He is hitting baller status. Dante Jackson is looking good. Hassan Reddick, new pass rusher to this team, is having a very immediate impact. I'm pretty sure he leads the team in sacks at 3. Brian Burns got 2 as well. This team's looking good in my opinion. I am skeptical. I'm not skeptical, but I'm questioning. I think they should have considered keeping Denzel Perryman, the linebacker they traded to the Raiders, but it is what it is. You know, they know more about me, about what they see, what the value is, and yada yada. They're in the front office for a reason. I'm not in it for a reason as well. Secondary, like I said, I already mentioned Dante Jackson, but him, Jeremy Chin, where can I find him on here, is looking good. J.C. Horn got his first pick. The team is young. Brian Burns is young. Jeremy Chin is young. Dante Jackson is young. Who else is young? J.C. Horn is young. But they're playing effectively. They're being efficient, and what I'm excited for is this team's schedule in the upcoming weeks. You know, they're 2-0, and you play the Houston Texans on Thursday Night Football. You should win this game. I don't even think Tyrod Taylor's playing. Obviously, you don't want to underestimate any team ever. Thursday night primetime can be weird, especially when it's away. But just looking at the matchup, quarterback, I'm taking Darnold over Davis Mills. I'm taking McCaffrey over Mark Ingram, Phillip Lindsay, David Johnson, whoever you want to pick. Offensive lines, pick whoever. Receiving core, I'm taking the Panthers. Defense, I'm taking the Panthers. Head coach, I'm taking the Panthers. I'm excited for that game. I think the Panthers could legit go 3-0. This is a big game to see how serious the Panthers are. You know, the Saints was a big test, but every game is a test. Every game there's something to determine more of. Every game is more data to really determine how good this team is. Can they make a playoff run? If they could win this football game against the Dallas Cowboys, and the reason it's a question mark is A, it's at Dallas, B, it's Dak Prescott, C, it's Amari Cooper, D, it's the CeeDee Lamb. You see where I'm going here? They're an extremely offensive firepower type of team that I want to see if Sam Darnold could go toe-to-toe with. I saw him go and beat the Saints, but that wasn't a game where Jameis was throwing 5 touchdowns and lighting up. I wanted to see, can Sam Darnold match a good day Jameis Winston? And obviously, a win is a win. I'm not taking anything away from that, but I still think there's more tests to be seen when it is needed. Can Darnold go toe-to-toe? You know, each game they've had, some cushion. They've had a lead. They've really controlled the clock and the pace of the game as far as how they want it to go. They haven't really been behind and needed a 2-minute drive or a play-for-play or score-for-score type of game. So this is going to be a good test. But if they could snag them, win that 50-50 game, I think they could beat the Eagles. All of a sudden, you're freaking 5-0 entering Week 6 against the Vikings, who I like but are questionable. Can this Panthers team make the playoffs? 100%. Now, where's the big dog? The elephant in the room. Don't play him for a while. I didn't realize that. Damn. All the way down to Week 16. So you got some time. That's tough. 3 division games back-to-back at the very end of the season. Bucs, Saints, Bucs. But I feel like you're going to get an idea by that time. They're probably going to, at this pace, at this literal pace, nothing else, not as putting any more assumptions into it. At this pace, they're probably going to need to win one of these last 3 games to make the playoffs. At this pace, just off of those numbers, being conservative. They're 2-0. I think they could beat the Texans. Let's just say, for the sake of argument, again, to be conservative. Not saying they would lose the Cowboys, but say they would, let's say they lose to the Cowboys, now they're 3-1. They beat the Eagles, now they're 4-1. Vikings find their stuff, they lose 4-2. Again, being conservative, I'm giving some 50-50 games to the Panthers and some not to. Being conservative, I think they beat the Giants and the Panthers, now they're 6-2. Can they beat the Patriots? I'm going to say they lose. Just to be conservative, I'm going to say they lose to the Panthers, or the Cardinals, excuse me, now they're 6-4. I'm going to say they beat one of these. I'm going to say they go 7-5 after these two games. I think they could sweep the Falcons 8-5. I think they lose to the Buffalo Bills 8-7. Now you see where I'm at. That was conservative. I think they can win more games than that. I think they could lose more games than that. This is a rough play-by-play. I didn't look in depth. I don't know what will happen week 6, 7, 8, 14, 13, 12, or whatever number you want to pick. A rough assumption, they could be 8-7. I feel like that's a relatively decent number to pick heading into week 16. And like I said, you win one football game at 8-7 out of these 3, and you finish 9-8. You might be a playoff team. Now, you'll be in the hunt. You could be a wild card team. Now, the NFC West is going to be some tough. They're going to have some tough love. The Seahawks, the Niners, the Cardinals, the Rams. We could very well see all 4 of those teams steal up a division spot and the wildcard spots, and no one gets to have fun. The Bears, the Vikings, the Panthers, the Saints, all those other teams that might have hope are all of a sudden left out. It's crazy, but I think the Panthers will even have a better shot at making the playoffs than that. I don't necessarily think they'll be 8-7. I think they'd be better. Like I said, I think they could win these 50-50 matches versus Dallas, versus Minnesota, versus New England, versus Washington and Miami. I think they could come out better than I gave them for off my quick guess, just to be conservative. Like I said, even in a conservative scenario, I had the Panthers being in the hunt to make the playoffs. So can they be a playoff team? 100%, absolutely. But they can't tread back. They need to keep up the pace. They need to keep up these wins. They need to win those 50-50 ball games. The Texans, they should be 3-0 after this week. But Dallas, this is the big one. Can you beat Dallas and the Eagles and head into Minnesota 5-0? You don't have to worry about the Bucs till the end of the end. So every win counts now, because there's a good chance, if we're being honest with ourselves, if we're being serious, the Bucs have a good chance of sweeping the Panthers. Not saying they will, but do they have a decent chance? Yes. But a plus is, theoretically, if the Bucs were to come away at 14 and, I'm going to say a little lower, 13-3, entering week 18, you think they're going to play their starters if they got their seating locked in? Nope. They're going to bench their guys, and all of a sudden the Panthers, if they're on the verge of a playoff spot, they get to play the Bucs backups in the last week of the season, and that could very well allow the Panthers to sneak in. Again, I'm making up a lot of scenarios. This is all speculation, theorizing, yada, yada, yada. But do I think my boys, Sam Darnold, Christian McCaffrey, Terrace Marshall Jr., I think those guys can make the playoffs? 100%. Again, I'm a Bucs fan, so this probably sounds weird, but the more I've been doing these videos, the more I've been talking NFL, I've just become a fan of players. And I try to keep my team biasness aside, and I think I do a fairly well job at that. And I'm being unbiased. I think the Panthers got it on defense and on offense. It's just a matter of time of getting more and more out of these guys. I am excited to see a small piece, A.J. Boye, a cornerback they signed this offseason to return. It's either week 3 or week 4. I am not sure which one. Either way, he will be back for Dallas, I'm pretty sure. I just don't know if he's back for the Texans or the Dallas games in week 3 or week 4, but I think his presence will be needed and seen in week 4. Maybe not a full 100% of snaps, because he hasn't played with a team like this in real game time, but I'm excited for that piece, and I'm excited for this team. I hope Sam keeps doing well. I hope McCaffrey keeps doing his thing, and I hope Panthers keep doing fairly well. I don't want them to do too good where they take down the Bucs. There's a little bit of heart for my Bucs in there. But do I think they can? And I hope they kind of do make a playoff run. As long as it doesn't affect the Bucs, yeah, why not? But you guys tell me, is there a player stat? Anything I missed, let me know. Comment down below. And like I said, do they make the playoffs? Yes or no? In front of the beginning of the video, yes or no? Comment down below. As always, and of course, thank you for watching, guys.